Welcome to the Feeding Your Younger Infants section of Health Bites. In this video, we'll meet 3 young mothers as they talk about how to feed their infants through the age of 5 months. We'll find out how to know when your baby is hungry, when she's full, night feedings, how to prepare bottles safely, and when to introduce solid foods. So with that in mind, let's meet Jessica, Trina, and Kim.
Finally, he's asleep. Ugh. What a mess this place is. I don't even know where to start cleaning. Oh.
Good morning, Jessica.
Hey, Kim, you're up early, but come on in. I just don't look at a mess.
Oh, another rough night, huh? I see you've done some redecorating. Anyway, I couldn't think of anywhere to go at 9 o'clock in the morning, so I came down the hall to see you. Aren't you lucky? So, tell me about your night. What happened?
Well, let's see. Jack was up at 11.
Only once?
Then at 1, 2:30, and again at 5. So remind me again why I'm breastfeeding?
Now, don't go blaming this on the breastfeeding. Imagine how much more of a hassle this would have been if you were formula feeding. You would have been mixing the formula, warming it, and washing bottles too. Plus, you'd have to keep Jack happy while you're making the bottle.
I'm sorry. Keep talking. I need something to keep me awake. Go ahead. Tell me about the benefits of breastfeeding.
Well, breast milk is custom made just for your baby. In fact, it changes through the day and as your baby grows. It changes to meet your baby's needs. Think about it. Isn't that so cool? Since the beginning of time, mothers have been making this perfect food for their babies, assuring the survival of the human race. It has just the right balance of nutrients, it's easy for Jack to digest, and it contains antibodies to keep him from getting sick. Remember that I fed Sherry with formula when she was a baby? Well, now that I'm breastfeeding Colin, there's such a big difference. He doesn't get sick nearly as often as Sherry did. Not at all, really. Shall I go on? Are you getting all this, Jessica?
Yeah. I'm realizing there are advantages to having a nurse living next door, especially a know-it-all. I mean, someone who knows as much as you do.
Well, breast milk is the only food your baby needs for his first 6 months. No juice, no water, no solid foods. If you feed your baby solid foods before 6 months, he could develop allergies.
Really? Huh, I didn't know that.
Oh, and one more thing. You get WIC benefits, right?
Yeah.
Then you know that you get more food and a bigger variety of food when you're breastfeeding, not to mention all the support and supplies they offer.
Yeah, I guess you are right. You know, last night was just so weird though. Jack really has seemed to be on a schedule, but last night he was just so hungry. It was as if I didn't have all the milk that he wanted.
Oh, okay. Well, what? He's 3 weeks old, right? Well, he's probably in a growth spurt. That happened to me a few times with Colin too. It's frustrating for a day or two, I know. However, in your body's great and ancient wisdom, it will once again provide all the nutrition your growing child needs. In other words, soon you'll be making plenty of milk for Jack.
What do you keep looking at?
Hey, what a coincidence. We're all here. Hi, Kim. Hi, Jessica.
Hey, did it ever occur to you to knock? What if my roommate were trying to sleep?
Who are you kidding? She wouldn't wake up if a helicopter landed on the roof right now.
And what are you up to today, little Miss Gwen?
Oh, let's see. Pooping in my diaper, spitting up all over Mommy's new sweater.
Speaking of pooping, I'm pooped. Let's sit down.
Wow, that's almost as loud as your furniture.
Don't even ask.
That's what I like about coming here. You just never know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I get you all something to drink? Tea or water?
No, don't get up. You do look tired, exhausted, worn out, frazzled, frizzled, dizzled.
All right, I get it. I need to get some sleep, but I need to wind down first. Jack had me up all night last night. He was really hungry. And apparently, according to our resident nurse here, he's going through a growth spurt and he needs his mama to supply him some more fuel.
So how can you tell? I mean, how do you know when he's hungry and when he's had enough? I mean, sometimes when Gwen cries, I go to all the hassle of getting a bottle ready, and then when I go to give it to her, she's not even hungry. So how do you know for sure that he's hungry?
Well, I can tell you one thing. Jack was clear that he was hungry last night. I can tell when he's hungry, when he's had enough. It's all about following their cues.
So what was he doing? How could you tell?
Oh, he was doing it all. Sucking on his fists and fingers, rooting around as if he were looking for my breast, smacking his lips. And the key is you have to do it before he gets really upset.
So how do I know when Gwen's had enough? I mean, I put 4 ounces in the bottle, but maybe sometimes she doesn't want that much. So how can I tell?
Pretty much when she stops sucking, seals her lips, or turns away from the nipple. At that point, you need to stop feeding her. If you insist that she finishes the bottle, then you'll be overfeeding her. And you know what that leads to? An overweight baby. And you don't want an overweight baby.
I don't, but they're so cute and cuddly.
No, you don't. Chubby babies might be cute, but they often grow up to be overweight kids, then obese adults, who can't even make it up a flight of stairs without stopping to catch their breath. See where I'm going?
Oh, I'm tired just thinking about it.
Obese kids can have adult medical problems such as high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Can you believe it?
Wow. I tell ya, being a mother is really humbling. I mean, there's so much to learn, and Gwen's life, depends on my knowing how to take good care of her.
You're right. There is so much to learn. It's life-changing. And I'm wondering how many years it's going to take until I can actually sleep again.
Speaking of sleep, Kim, you formula fed Sherry, right?
Mm-hmm.
My sister puts her baby to bed with a bottle, and she sort of props it on a pillow, kind of like this. What do you think? Can I do that?
No. That's definitely bad. The baby could choke on the formula or even suffocate. It could also cause ear infections from the formula dripping down to her ear, or even tooth decay from the formula sitting on her gums.
Wow, that sounds really terrible. I should tell my sister.
Healthcare professionals recommend that when you feed your baby at night, that you wipe his gums or teeth with a moist cloth. That's true for breastfeeding too, by the way. It's not good for the formula or milk to sit in the mouth all night.
Great. More sleep to lose. But little Jack is worth it. And I'm surprised he's actually been asleep for the last 2.5 hours. I think that's a new record. Woo!
Maybe we should go so you can get some sleep.
Oh no, I'm enjoying a break from my job as a mobile milk bar.
Kim, is there anything else I need to know about feeding Gwen?
Well, although Jessica feels like a milk machine now, there's definitely benefits to breastfeeding. When you use a bottle, things just get complicated. The only other thing you need to know is to make sure everything is clean. I'm sure you're already doing this, but always wash your hands before handling the formula, bottles, or bottle nipples. Remember, cleanliness is next to godliness. Of course, all this applies to express breast milk too. You have to store express breast milk in clean containers, everything. Bottles, bottle nipples, caps, collecting kit. Everything must be washed in hot soapy water, then rinsed really well.
Can you put it all in the dishwasher?
Of course. Once you've gotten all your supplies from the store, it's actually recommended that you use a dishwasher or even boil it for 10 minutes. Plus, okay, I'm almost done, but this is really important. Once you prepared Gwen's formula, she should eat it within the hour. Don't save or reheat it or it can grow bacteria and make her sick. Ideally, breast milk should be stored within the hour too, but it can actually sit out for about 6 to 8 hours.
Wow, that's a lot to remember, but I guess it comes down to making sure everything's clean, right?
Yep, just make sure everything's clean. And you know that breast milk, well, in your case, formula, is the only thing Gwen needs for her first 6 months, right?
Yeah, that's what her healthcare professional says.
Oh, hello there. We'll return you to My House is a Wreck, and I just need to sleep in just a moment. But first, I, Pat Stone, along with my good friend, Don Ronald, want to take this opportunity to tell you about Bottle Nipple Studios' newest CD collection, Trina Dollison's Formula Feeding Greatest Hits.
We've searched high and low for Trina's greatest songs about everyone's favorite topic, formula feeding. And we're delighted to bring you this 45-disc collection with over 19.7 hours of the best of the best.
That's right, Don. Now, there are 3 types of formula: ready to feed, concentrated liquid, and powdered. To prepare ready to feed, simply stir up the ready to feed formula before putting it in a bottle so that the minerals that may have settled are all mixed up. Again, the formula should be stirred, not shaken. Then, if your baby prefers it warm, warm it up.
That reminds me of Trina's famous rockabilly hit from the 50s, Stir It Up. Ah, what a classic. Now, you mentioned warming up formula. Remember that the best way to warm formula is to place the unopened bottle in a bowl or small pot of warm water for 5 to 10 minutes. Then stir the formula to spread the heat out evenly. You can test the temperature of the formula on a sensitive part of your body, like the inside of your wrist, and if it feels okay there, it's all right for your baby. But whatever you do...
I'll take it from here, okay? Whatever you do, heed this warning from the soul-stirring 1980s ballad, "Don't Use the Microwave."
Don't use the microwave. Don't use the microwave. Some parts stay cool, some parts get way too hot. Do you want to burn your baby's mouth? I hope not.
That's just beautiful, Pat.
Indeed it is, Don. Don, do you know the proper way to store formula?
I can't say that I do, Pat.
Well, once the formula has been opened, it should be covered with its cap and stored in the refrigerator for no more than 48 hours. You should label the container with the date and time, too.
The second type of formula is concentrated liquid formula. You must add water to the concentrated liquid formula to dilute it before giving it to your baby. It can be prepared in individual bottles or in a bigger container, but you shouldn't make more than your baby can eat in 24 hours.
Then it's step 1. And for that, Trina goes back to her roots. It's that 90s country's hit, "Wash My Hands."
Baby, I know what you need. Your cries are telling me it's time to feed. First to meet your demands. Baby, you gotta let me wash my hands. Oh, wash my hands. Wash my hands. Warm soapy water, singing the song twice through. I'm gonna wash my hands. Wash my hands. The formula trains are coming, baby. I'm washing my hands for you.
Now, after you wash your hands, make sure that your bottle nipples, sinks, and countertops are all clean too. Follow the instructions on the can to see how much water you need, and be sure not to use too much to make it go further. Over diluting can make your baby very sick. I think we have a song for that, don't we?
I don't think that one made the cut.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'll just explain. You bring the water to a rolling boil for 1 minute, then let it cool completely. Once it's cooled, mix it in with the concentrated liquid formula. Stir it up.
Don't shake it.
Right. Just mix them together.
Don't use a blender.
Okay. Just stir it up, and then again test it on your wrist to make sure it's cool enough. And then you're ready to feed. Just like the ready-to-feed formula, any extra concentrated liquid formula that you do not mix can be saved for the next 48 hours, as long as it's covered and stored in the refrigerator, of course. Don, certainly there's a song for that, right?
Oh, yes. It's her well-known Read the Directions.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh, you're in for a real treat.
What do you do when you don't know what to do? I'll tell you what to do. Read the directions.
That's it?
Well, that's it. Incredible, wasn't it? And so true. And that brings us to the third kind of formula, powdered formula. Powdered formula is dry powder that you mix with water to make. Again, make sure everything is clean, your hands, under your nails, the bottle, dishes, counters, everything.
And if you're into planning ahead, you should know that you can make enough for up to 24 hours in advance. Don't make any more than that at once.
Thanks, Pat. So, for powdered formula, you'll do the same basic things you did for concentrated liquid formula. Bring your water to a boil for a minute, let it cool, and then as Trina sang, read the directions on the label for mixing.
Don't use a blender.
Yes, don't use a blender.
And don't shake it.
Don't shake it. Most of the time, you'll add 1 level scoop of formula to 2 ounces of the water, but this varies from brand to brand. It's also really important that you only use the scoop that came with the powdered formula. Different brands have different size scoops.
Exactly. And once it's open, it can be covered with its cap and stored in a cool, dry place for as long as 4 weeks. Remember to label the can with the date you opened it. There's one more song, right?
We've saved the best for last. That's right. Who could forget her smash Broadway showstopper, You Can Prepare Formula?
Breastfeeding is best. Breastfeeding costs less. But sometimes mothers need to use formula. With 3 types to choose, there's really no way you lose. You too can prepare formula. Ready to feed, a concentrated liquid, powdered with a scoop, 1 drops of liquid. You can prepare formula.
Wow. So powerful. Unbelievable. Well, now back to our regular scheduled program. But remember, don't shake it up. Don't use the microwave.
And don't use a blender. Back to you, Jessica.
Jessica! Jessica! Wake up!
What? How long have I been asleep? I just had the weirdest dream and you were in it.
I think Jack's awake, and he's hungry.
Oh, okay, thanks.
I think those mothers are going to be all right, don't you? Be sure to look around the rest of the section for more videos, games, and information.